If you haven't been around here, you'll know that in September I will be a father. And it's forced me to really think, am I capable of providing for this baby, in which I've never had a baby before? This is my first child. I was only married a year ago. Am I ready? This is the question that has continuously popped up in my mind. Am I ready? And if I'm not, when will I be ready? Pondering on my own situation is interesting because I know that I'm not ready. I know that the Lord can make me ready. I'm not sure when or I'm not sure how, but I know that the Lord will provide a way so that I can provide the best life for our child. Or more so, as I said in the last video, I have hope in that fact. Because sometimes I am not sure. Sometimes I'm completely afraid. And fear is the exact opposite of fear and of faith. With fear, you can't be full of faith. But one thing I've learned throughout this whole entire thing is that control is an illusion. This entire time, I've been convincing myself that I have faith, and maybe you guys can relate with this. I've been convincing myself I have faith, but I've realized that I've had faith in all the wrong things. Faith in my business to work. Faith in my finances as a whole. Faith in my car to keep running. Faith that I'll always be able to afford to pay rent or pay for the necessities of life. But as I said, control is an illusion, and you can never expect even the most unimaginable things to happen in your life. Tomorrow you could wake up without an ability to walk. I've seen it happen with one of my past dogs. Woke up one day and couldn't hardly move its back two legs. I had to drag him around everywhere. I didn't realize that Mother's Day I would have to put this dog down. I didn't realize after I got back from my honeymoon that my car would be broken into and many things stolen. I didn't realize these things. Control is an illusion. To have faith that things will always work is an absolute fallacy. And it is a spit in the face of God to say that I have it all in control. But perhaps we're missing one key element. That faith isn't about control. It's about understanding that you are completely powerless, that you have no control, and that the only person you can rely upon is God, our Father in heaven. And faith is nothing if it is without Jesus Christ. So today, I really just only had one goal. It was to get to work. I took Bruce with me, and of course, because it was spring break, a lot of the art students weren't even there. Which is kind of nice, because that meant I got to do a little bit of art myself. Here's what I had so far. This is a painting I started a long time ago and since forgotten about. Then after that, my wife and I went for a little hike.
The phone almost does it justice. Not quite.
Good morning. It is the 9th. It's honestly a beautiful day, and I've been very grateful, and I've had lots of time just to think and ponder and to pray. There's been a lot of time to pray. And I've actually had a realization since the last video. If you guys watched the last video, you'll remember that the whole entire topic was deleting social media. So essentially, I quit social media last week. I did it mostly so that I could focus on YouTube and just trying to build my business, and I could focus on my family. I did that as a sacrifice because I felt that Instagram was distracting me, and so was TikTok. And I wanted to become more disciplined, and I wanted to get my life in order and figure out my business and stuff and build some product before our baby's born in September, as I will just keep harping on about. But instead, what's happened is, yeah, I've had time. I shouldn't say instead, but more so what's happened is a greater shift in perspective. Ever since I quit social media, I've had lots of time. And I usually notice that whenever I quit social media, my mind takes a little bit of time just to readjust and come back to where it was. Once it did, I had this extra time, and rather than trying to fill it with mindless things, like I could still do YouTube Shorts since I've got to keep YouTube. But instead, I guess it was just the timing in which, like I said, I've been afraid. I've had some things going on in my life that have been hard. And God has really connected to me. Whenever I start these videos and I pick a topic to talk about, it's genuinely something that I need. It's something that I'm working on. It's genuinely something I'm learning about. I feel like the best way to help my viewers or you guys is if what I'm going through is something you guys are also going through. And this whole study of faith has just led me to one thing: refocusing my faith rather than the things that I want and desire to more the character of Christ and wanting to get to know him. When we understand who Christ is, more happens in our life. It's amazing what miracles come into play. When we understand who Christ is and the miracles he performed, I think it really changes our perspective. I've been reading through the New Testament and I just got to Matthew 10 and I've just been marking anything that teaches me about the character of Christ. And you find that you end up marking like almost every single line down as you really think about it. And what Christ teaches is just so powerful. A lot of it is about faith. And you hear about the woman with the issue of blood. She just simply reaches out to Christ's garment, his clothes, and he looks over and he sees her. And when he does see her, he says, "Thy faith hath made thee whole," and he heals her. And that to me is so miraculous. Sometimes I find myself just trying to reach out to him, trying to grab what I can of his garment too, in a way. That sounds really weird, but I don't mean that in a weird way. I'm reaching out, trying to find him, and in result, he finds me. When I started this YouTube channel, I had the number one goal of just creating videos about finance and business, and it was all very focused. And I almost had a persona and a character. But I don't know if you guys have been watching for that long, if you guys have been seeing the changes in my life. And I don't want to brag about myself or like anything like that or say that I'm greater than anybody, because that's not the case. But my perspective has changed. And I heard it in a quote and I related with it very deeply. And it was from Ryan Trahan. He shared a video talking about his testimony on one of his side channels called Ryan 3000 or whatever. I like this guy. I like watching him. He always has this upbeat feeling about him, and I see why. He is carrying the countenance of Christ. He teaches one simple point, and he says, God doesn't have to change your position. He just has to change your purpose. And I feel that that's what's happening with me. My wife's here. I better go talk to her. So I think that brings us to the end of this video. I feel like there's been a lot to talk about, a lot to digest here. And if there's anything I really feel like everybody should get away from this, is that when you are on your faith journey, don't forget to bring Christ. Because it's really easy to worship, as Christ calls it, mammon, which is things of the world. It's the video games, it's the social media, it's essentially anything you give the majority of your time and attention to. That's what worshiping is. It's easy to worship mammon, this fake god that we give power to unconsciously, when we put faith in the finances and when we put faith in the business. I love in Matthew 6:26. I love this scripture. Maybe I'd read it before, just kind of passing by, but I'd never actually truly considered it. In which Christ has just taught, like, take no thought for what you should eat. Maybe I should read 25 to you guys. He says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Then in 26 he says, behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? It's been very educational this week. I've just kind of felt that, if I'm sharing about all these other Christ-like attributes, faith has to be something I talk about too. And it's strengthened me a lot. And I've really become passionate about learning about Jesus Christ. And I just want to include you guys in that journey, because I think it's easier now more than ever to forget about him, to leave him behind, to forget about him in your journey to faith, even though you're pursuing faith itself. Maybe you guys relate with this video. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. I post a vlog like this every single Saturday, although this was less vloggy and more talky. And if that wasn't for you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do a little bit better with this next week, but I appreciate you guys and I love you guys, and you guys have been awesome with the support. I didn't read the comments this week in this video. Normally I like to read comments from you guys, but I didn't get a whole lot, so I'm going to save that for next week. It's just humbling to see all that has changed in my life just because of this simple decision to follow my dreams and trust the Lord, even though I'm not taking the traditional route. And I just want to motivate you guys and leave that with you. Do what you feel that you need to do and God will provide a way. Don't worry about how, don't worry about the details. Do your best to follow God, and He will provide a way with all of your other dreams and passions and goals. My name is Gabriel Bowman. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.